if you're in this for the long term, then you have the better chances to making it really work well, because affiliate marketing is not a short-term thing.
Welcome, affiliated listeners, to another episode of the Affiliated Podcast. And I won't mention how crisp and clean our setup is because you should be used to it by now and expect it going forward until I guess probably the next podcast won't have it. But no, it will. It'll all be this way. They're amazing. And Dylan, our producer, is amazing. Big shout out to him. Today, guys, we are going to be talking with a really amazing individual that is in describing their journey. So we recently actually had one of our other beloved ClickBankers, Michael Lohman, known from his Top Offer fame, was actually a guest on Jonathan's podcast. Oh, so I gave his name away. But on his podcast, he talks about affiliate marketing. He himself is an elite affiliate marketer. But one of the things that we love so much about Jonathan, outside who he is as a person and his skills as a marketer and how much fun he is to talk to, but also he, very similar to a lot of our listeners, has been on your side. He went through that journey, and there's some really, really cool parts about it that we want to share, as well as giving you guys some tidbits on some really big things that you could be doing in your affiliate marketing, or even some things I want to talk about podcasting. We're going to talk a little about podcasting because we have two podcasters, but we'll save that a little bit for the end. First, we're going to learn about this amazing individual, his amazing story, and we should probably bring him in to start talking about it. Jonathan Bouchard, how are you doing today, Jonathan?
Thank you so much, Kaya. Thank you so much for the nice words.
My pleasure, man.
Doing great. Meeting you again after we met in Barcelona, and catching up is one of the highlights of the week, I would say.
Beautiful. Hey, well, likewise here, and especially when I get a little taste of feeling like I could bring myself back to Barcelona in affiliate takeover. It was great meeting you, and that was a great conference. Really enjoyed it. Shout out to the folks that put that on, and look forward to the American one that's coming in San Diego at some point in time. So, with it though, Jonathan, yeah, it's definitely great getting to know you there, and obviously is a fun experience. But we want to talk about today is your journey, like where you ended, what brought you to this podcast today? How did we get here? And it's a pretty interesting one. So kind of before we go into all the things you're doing now, what I'd love to do is dial it back and I want to kind of go back to kind of what you were doing before you stumbled into this world of crazy online marketing.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. And it goes way back. I would say, to 2011 and everything that happened before, because in my 20s, I was a musician. I was playing guitar and writing songs. And
what kind of guitar? We're talking like, it was like rock. Were you shredding?
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah. We had a glam rock band. So we had a glam rock band.
Glam rock, no way.
Yeah,
so there's a lot more hair back then, as I'm assuming, Jonathan, right? Was this
actually all my bandmates had long hair, but since I was balding in my early 20s, I was the guy with the bandana and the cowboy hat.
There you go. Nice. Beautiful.
So,
love that.
If you want to dig deep into my album on Facebook, on my Facebook profile, then you will find some pictures of that era still. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Now, this is where we put, if we were on the Joe Rogan show, I'd be like, all right, Jamie, go find him, right?
Exactly.
By the end of the episode, we'll find him. Yeah. Fantastic.
But besides of playing the guitar myself, I always was, I don't know, people always asked me promotion stuff. Like, it was like something made my bandmates always believe that I could promote the band. So then I had to, it was back in the MySpace days, by the way, like for those so we had a MySpace page, and I started to randomly do some promotion. Some of it worked. We booked, I think over the course of 2 or 3 years, 150 gigs.
Man.
Yeah.
That's not a small amount. That sounds like a lot of fun, and especially when you had no experience. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. It was mainly a lot of outreach and stuff like that. And like musicians have other musician friends as well. So when they learned that I do that stuff, they asked me if I could do it for them as well. And I think 1-2 years later, I was like a typical music promoter.
That's awesome. From glam to promotion.
Yeah, while still doing the music. But I was super, and it's funny to think about it because at some point I created a website for that. So I decided, okay, let's make it a business, or let's try to make some money with it, and offer this promotion service to a broader audience. And I built a website. Like I didn't know anything about online marketing basically. I think maybe SEO, like meta tags and whatever.
Hmm.
But I really liked this process of building the website, like creating the offer. If I would translate it to the terms we use today, like to create this music promotion offer, I enjoyed that a lot. Like that's where when I discovered copywriting, all that stuff, how to write in a way that people feel attracted to what you have to offer, stuff like that. That was my first
Yeah.
steps into that.
Now
And
let me ask you because I'm really curious about this. As you're, a musician, I'm sure you saw yourself as more of like an artist at that point in time. I want to be an artist. I want
yeah,
to play like sick riffs and be on stage and all that stuff.
yeah,
But when you started getting into this promotion side, for whatever reason, friends like Jonathan needs to do it. But as you built that website, you're doing the promotions, you're seeing the success beyond just the musical part of it. And then you said you really found yourself drawn to it.
mhm.
Have you ever thought, or even as we talk right now, can you kind of walk me through like what about it? Like what sparked in your brain and your heart when you started doing this that just felt different versus
Yeah.
other things you were doing?
To be honest, I still feel that affiliates and copywriters specifically are artists. You're creating, like every offer that you have on the marketplace was not there before. Someone had to create it out of nothing. Like every offer starts with an idea, basically. And that's, I think, per definition, like producing babies, it's like you're creating something. That
Yeah.
offer was not there if it wasn't for you creating it.
Mm-hmm.
And same with a song. Like any song you write was not there before. And that's a creation. And yeah, it's a very philosophical way to look at it now. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it
think
was
it could be him. Marketing is the art of business, right? At the end of the day,
yeah,
accounting is the numbers, but marketing is the art. That's where it really comes down
yeah.
to when it comes to business. So I agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. I think it very much so is a creative art form, which might just be me trying to find a way to say that I'm a creative person. But
Yeah, but I think you are like, okay.
yeah.
So, and then it was very difficult to get clients back in the day because I didn't know how. And there was just like a Craigslist. We don't have that in Germany, but a similar platform like that where
Mhm.
I put on my posts and whatever, and people were starting to reply to me.
So you went real organic from the start. You were just out there
Yeah,
finding a place and saying, "Hey, let's go. Let's see what we could find."
exactly, and doing outreach to recording studios and stuff
Mhm.
because, like, I was thinking, who has the audience that I'm trying to
Yeah.
target? Like, chances are,
Yeah,
if
target
you're
marketing.
if you're running a recording studio, at some point, the music, the recording will be finished, and someone has to promote it. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the idea.
Total sense.
Yeah, and then was like this startup boom happening in Germany, and
Mm.
like startups were popping up left and right, like online businesses. And that was my time. Like I live in the southwest and
Mm-hmm.
between France and Switzerland. Beautiful place to live.
Mm-hmm.
But Berlin is where the music is. Like that's
Mm.
like it's like Los Angeles in the
Yeah.
US basically. If you want to make it in music, you have to go to Los Angeles, or if you want to make it in Germany, you have to be in Berlin basically. So I moved to Berlin and found the book from Tim Ferriss, The 4 Hour Work Week, and all the
Nice.
and then the rabbit hole started. I
Mhm.
met some friends who were building online businesses, and that's when I turned my product idea, this promotion service, into an online business, uh, which was basically just a website with a form where people could enter their music stuff, upload their MP3s, upload their album covers, submit it, and we would do the back end stuff for that. And yeah,
That's kind of cool. So they literally, it's as simple, but that does seem like, especially this 2011, you said, right?
yeah, 12,
I mean,
11, 12, something like
yeah,
that.
that
Yeah,
seems like a great innovation of that time frame to be able
yeah,
to just something that says, "Hey, I want to promote," and then you have that access to upload and give the content, and then you guys could get started. Which
yeah.
again would create that different type of scale of not having to go knock on doors, but instead maybe drive some
Yeah.
traffic.
It will date me as well if I tell you that the cultural ministry here in Germany, they invited me for an interview because
No,
they said I was democratizing the music promotion process in Germany. Because before that, there was you always had to submit your demo to a record label, and then they would have gatekeepers basically preventing you from being promoted, basically. And with me, you didn't have to have a record deal. We promoted you, I mean, for a fee, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
But
no, I think that's awesome though. I love that. Like
the first online promotion service basically here.
Yeah, that's so cool. And like to be able to be first, again, you had to have that creative pursuit to give birth to it and understand what it's doing. So how long did that run for? How long were you doing that? Like when did you kind of pivot away from the promotion business? Because obviously right now we're talking and you're not, like
not doing it anymore.
On a world tour right now. Yeah.
Exactly. I think it was 2.5 to 3 years, something like that. And when I was in Berlin, here, proximity is power. If you want to be successful, you have to surround yourself with people who are on the same journey, right?
Yeah.
And that's why conferences are so interesting, because there you meet people who are doing the same stuff that you are trying to do. And the same is, if you want to have a startup, San Francisco is the place to be, for example, or Berlin back in the day. And I learned everything about Facebook ads, email marketing. Back then, you had still free ebooks as lead magnets, for example.
Yeah.
So I did that game as well. And I really enjoyed this process. Running ads to that free ebook, collecting the email address, and then emailing like there's no tomorrow to promote the service, basically.
And you're doing that all with your promo service, right? So you do ads and sort of promotions.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And very soon I was, it sounds cheesy, but I was getting too many customers through this funnel.
Yeah.
And then I
imagine it wouldn't take that long. If being honest, it feels like it would not take too long.
It didn't take too long. And then I was like catching fires basically with fulfillment, because then we had to do all the promotions and whatever.
Yeah.
And still in my early 20s, I felt like I wasn't like this matured entrepreneur who could easily hire and delegate and stuff like that. So, and I enjoyed the online stuff much more. So at some point, digital info products came out when I learned that I could package up that knowledge, create a course for that. And instead of selling the promotion through my email funnels, I was selling the online course instead. And that worked as well. And at some point, you stumble upon affiliate marketing. And I remember that I was building out that funnel. So my girlfriend at the time had a coffee shop in Berlin, and I was always working from her place, basically from the coffee shop. I was building
free Wi-Fi, yay.
Free Wi-Fi, free coffee.
Yeah.
Building the funnel and then sending out the email to an offer that I didn't own. It was my first affiliate promotion, basically.
How did that feel the first time you did? Do you remember what the product
was? It was an ebook for basically a directory.
Like just a directory for like...
record labels, like a huge list of record labels.
It's so weird to think about the things that used to sell back in the day, right?
Totally.
But so how did that feel when you did that first affiliate promo? Because you've been promoting your own stuff, you turned it to a course, but that was all within your realm.
Exactly.
And that first time you made money with somebody else's product, like what happened in your brain?
I think it rewired in some, like physically, like from it's
like the limitless moment.
It really was like that. I was completing that funnel while I was at the coffee shop, hitting send, went home, and when I was back home, the first thing I wanted to do is check my emails. And then I had this payment notification that I had sold an ebook. I think it was 28, 30 something euros. And I was like, I didn't understand it at first. Like, is this real? Is this fake? And then I was like checking it in the back end, and it was real. There was the commission, and I was like, that is so crazy. The transaction is completed. That was basically what I was struggling with when I was selling the service. Collecting the money and selling the service was easy because you could have the IT do it, like Stripe, for example, and WordPress. but then the transaction was not completed. You had to do the fulfillment. And with this affiliate thing, like even with the coaching, there's still like customer support and maybe handling a refund here and there, or coaching questions. Like the fulfillment is not, basically you don't have that as an affiliate, which I found
Yeah.
so interesting. And then I was basically hooked.
You're like, if I could just do the part of this that I
Yeah,
love
exactly.
and not do all the other stuff that, like you said before, it's like, I'm not in a life that I want to start hiring and training and delegating. Like, it was fun when I did all the work, but
Yep.
now there's too much. So, but you just, it really, almost for you, what I'm hearing is that, like, it allowed you to be like, you realize you're like, I could live in the part that I actually like and just
Yep.
do this all the time.
Exactly.
So once you had that realization, like, what was next? What did you start doing? How did you start shifting? I'm curious if it was like immediate or if you're like, okay, maybe I'll just try a little bit more.
Yeah. So I would say it was maybe a few years of trial and error, shiny objects, trying everything that was remotely close to it. Because
Okay.
unfortunately, I was not able to scale this digital info product in the music business
Yeah.
especially not as an affiliate, because you don't earn the higher AOVs and the lifetime value. Basically, you don't have that.
Yeah. I imagine it's a pretty narrow market too that you're going after.
And it's still maybe 2012, 2013. Like, it's not like today where everyone is so used to buy stuff online. Like, it was, I feel it was still a little bit more difficult back in the day. Especially in Germany.
Challenges, right?
I think in Germany, people didn't purchase with a credit card like until just recently. Like, that's how it feels sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, so you had to sell to tech savvy people, I would say.
Gotcha. So already limited your market when you're targeting. Plus, you're only in Germany, right? Which we know that the broader you go, now you don't have to be just in Germany. So you kind of start realizing, you're like, hey, this is cool, but like, I'm hitting a ceiling.
Yeah.
So like, so with some of the shiny toy object stuff, just can you just you don't have to go through all of them, but what were some of the things that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I tried that, versus some of the things you're like, oh, and then we'll go into the, hey, this is the ones that actually worked.
Yeah. Okay. So let me start with one of my coolest failures, I would say.
Okay. I love that. Coolest failure.
Yeah. Because it's like a domino that led me to where I am today as well. There was a guy in Germany, like Amazon FBA was getting huge, and in Germany as well. And there was one guy selling supplements on Amazon and doing 6 figures a month. And obviously, as most of us and everyone listening probably is fascinated by numbers like these.
Yeah.
And
I'll take 6 figures a month. I'll figure it out. I think I can do some good.
100%. Exactly. So, and then I thought I could do the same. Found a supplier, like someone who would create the products. Like, even white label was popular back then already, like just like it is today. But I had to pre-order the product before I could do the Amazon listing. So I was trying the same that he did. So I think for $3,000, I bought products, had on Fiverr a guy create the label for me and stuff like that. So I was getting there with the delegation part.
Yeah.
But then when the day came and the product arrived and I wanted to create that listing on Amazon, then I had this notification which said something like, I'm sorry, but we're currently not onboarding new supplement brands on the marketplace. So
What? And you have these how many boxes of supplements did you have at that point in time?
Well, it was at a warehouse. I never saw it, basically.
Oh, you never saw it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you probably didn't have to pay to take the back
like,
too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so there it was. Like, I think during that time, a lot of supplement sellers were trying to copy what that guy did. So then the marketplace was full. And I don't know. So it was not allowed. So, and then I had no way of selling the product, basically.
Yeah.
So that was a failure that was a bit strange. However, I discovered the Kindle ebook business.
Ah.
So
curious, because I imagine, like, one, I'm curious, like, with that failure, I'm about to sneeze, so I'll get the question out before I do. But with that failure, What was kind of like, what did you learn from it? And then I'm
Yeah,
curious how you ended up transitioning into
yeah,
finding Kindle. But
yeah,
when you kind of look at that, what's kind of the big lesson you took away from the
yeah.
supplement one?
I think just one step before the supplements, when I was
So I'm just trying not to holding the sneeze in. I didn't mean
yeah,
to make the weird faces, but I'm
no,
sure Dylan will
no
capture
worries.
that later.
Yeah, we're
uh,
gonna
anyway.
screenshot it later.
Yeah, for sure. It'll get shared out.
So after the music business was one important step in between that I skipped right now, and it was that I was able to sell it,
Mm,
the service. And after that, so my girlfriend closed her coffee shop, I sold my online business, and then at the same time, probably due to Tim Ferriss and for our work week, this digital nomad life gained in popularity as well. So all of my friends who I were in the co-working space in back then started to travel, and we basically just did the same. So we went to Bangkok or to Chiang Mai later,
mm,
which still is like a digital nomad hub in the
yeah.
world. And that's where all these business models probably gave me that shiny object syndrome, because everyone
Because you
was
were just
doing such a
immersed.
cool
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. It's like in Berlin, everyone was doing their own startups. But in
Hmm.
Chiang Mai, there was like Americans and Australians, and like it was not only Berlin. Like now, it was like the entire world was in Chiang Mai. That's how I felt, at least. Some
Yeah.
were
It's
doing
like
drop
living in a
shipping,
mastermind.
yeah, drop shipping, Amazon FBA, and then those Google, not Google, Kindle guys as well.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and since I was into that Amazon rabbit hole already, going from the FBA to the Kindle business was not a big step for me. So I had a mentor, a business partner, who taught me how to create books for that marketplace and stuff like that. And we started to do that. And interestingly, that was also like health and recipe stuff, which uh, which is what I sold later as well. And one of our
Nice. Okay.
most popular books were in the low carb space, low carb
No
keto.
carbs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we did about 9K, 10K a month
Nice.
with these, and that's when I thought I want the emails from those buyers as well. So what if I take
Nice.
my best books and
Hmm.
bundle them together and put them on ClickBank? So, and then I had my first and only so far ClickBank product. And I was like, then I was back again, creating
Hmm.
stuff, creating a landing page, creating an offer, creating this low carb bundle,
Hmm.
creating affiliate page. Like, I think I did a
It's
lot
like
of
going back
things
home a little
right.
bit.
Huh?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like going back home again, right? Because you remember, hey, this is back when I was in my girlfriend's coffee shop making the
Creating
music
stuff.
business. You
Yeah.
kind of found that again. Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly. So
So,
I was always very, very attracted to creating products, creating stuff, creating landing pages and offers. I always liked that part more than operating the business itself,
hmm.
basically. But I had no idea how affiliate marketing worked back then from a seller's perspective. So
Hmm.
how to recruit affiliates, how to manage them, and whatever. And yeah, then somehow discovered that selling other people's stuff was easier than selling my own. So basically, I think there was like a little bit ego check that
Hmm.
someone else is better than me in creating offers. So I might be better off promoting theirs instead of mine. That
Yeah.
was probably 2017, 18, 19, around that time.
See, that's
Actually,
such a brilliant
2020
real.
lock.
Oh, a lockdown. Okay, so it's right at 2020, right in the lockdowns. You're like, hey,
Yeah,
maybe I should. Maybe the affiliate's the game that I really do best right now.
yeah. I had my first 1K a day with a supplement offer on ClickBank.
In 2020.
2020. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay, so let's kind of talk. This is a perfect transition. So you're kind of going through, and I think one huge shout out to the self awareness. I think this is something as entrepreneurs, and actually, it's a quote I brought up. I think it was with Francisco, but there was a professional fighter that retired. And I remember he used this quote when he was in an interview after he retired. He said, hey, oftentimes, do you really want to focus on the goal? What's more important, the goal at the end, which for
Mm.
lots of us is the $100,000 a month, the big car, whatever it is, right? Whatever
Yeah.
that big entrepreneurial dream is, he says, or is it more important who you become on the journey? And so when you think
Mhm.
about entrepreneurship, and we had somebody the other day that said, hey, entrepreneurship and personal development are always inexplicably tied.
Yeah.
if you're doing it right. And I think it goes down to that idea that you, through self-awareness and through the journey of entrepreneurship, learn so much more about yourself, right? Hey, this is where I am. This is what I like. Let me do more of that. So I think it's just really great. And I always encourage people anytime on the podcast or anytime talking to them, focus not on what you want to do, but what you know you could do well first. And then
Yeah.
hyper focus on that. Get better and better and better. And then you can expand from there. But yeah, really smart that you did that. So let's now talk about the ClickBank side. So when you came into ClickBank, you start seeing kind of like, hey, I want to do this affiliate stuff. Now, did you just kind of take what you already knew because you'd sprinkled some media buying and just kind of grabbed an offer and started promoting? Or were you thinking to yourself, I think I might need more education? Kind of curious about that transition now going, okay, I'm going to be full affiliate and you're jumping into the Nutri game.
Yeah. Good question. I think binge watching like a million YouTube videos, certainly. But obviously joining forums in the affiliate space was a good idea. Or just recently also joining the Spark course from ClickBank itself, because who's better to learn it from than from the source, basically.
Well, we'll talk more about that in a second for sure.
But
Yeah.
in 2020, I'm not sure if that course existed, to be honest. But I joined.
It did not.
It did not. Yeah. I joined another course, which was basically teaching this ad landing page offer funnel on Facebook. And COVID was a good time to start this because everyone was at home. Everyone had to order stuff. Vitamins were huge, anyways. And
we're all told we were going to die and had to be healthy, and we're stuck indoors and had a bunch of extra money, and we're paying attention to the internet in a way we never had before. So
and what's so funny, by the way,
cheap CPMs was a perfect time.
Yeah. And back then, I think that the narrative for choosing a ClickBank offer was that it should have not higher than a 100 gravity score or something like that. Which is so crazy because back then we all thought if 100 other affiliates or the gravity score is 100, then it's probably too competitive and oversaturated. And now 5 years later, it's like there are offers with 500 gravity score. It's like affiliate is not dead. Like it's basically in this KPI grown 5x in the last 5 years. So
it has, yeah. Because and a lot of it is just what you described, that journey of the pandemic, the unlocking of affiliate marketing and paid media really took new life over that time frame. So do you remember the course you first took? Was it Robbie Blanchard's like Commission Hero? Where you go? So you went kind of the high ticket route right from the get go. Obviously, great course.
Yeah,
and that gave you a baseline at $1,000 days. So like now you started seeing that success. Let me ask this: what made you think, hey, I need more education, or like what was that process? Because obviously you've seen some success and curious. Like obviously that felt really good. You had to think, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But kind of continue to walk me through the continuation of the journey. Was it ascending? Were there bumps in the road? How was it going for you after that point?
Total bumps in the road, like account shutdowns were unexpected ones. And waking up in the morning and your Facebook account was banned. That was really terrible for me back then. Because I was like, for everyone who's starting with the paid ads game, and like, since you mentioned personal development, when you grow into a budget where you spend more per day than you used to earn in a month, for example, that's stress pure, basically, because every day you're spending like I don't know, a few €1,000 maybe or dollars, which you used to earn in a month, basically. Like that was high stress, and waking up in the morning to a banned Facebook ad account, that was just unnecessary additional stress. So and then unfortunately I got very distracted by that. There were strategies to create new assets and whatever, but at that time it was easier for me to try YouTube or Google and other traffic sources because back then I couldn't handle the stress of creating, like, starting over again and again with a new ad account and having it shut down again and starting again, shut down again. And with being a German, we don't have these I mean, right now you could use American Express and stuff like that, but having multiple accounts, it was like, for the administration side, very complicated because in Germany we have very strict accounting rules, and
Mm.
Facebook was not. It was very difficult for me, and it
It was
was
just
just
it was a bit of a conflict. A lot of headwinds that didn't feel worth it at the time. Is kind of what I'm hearing.
that's exactly. And at the same time, I had a friend who was running campaigns very successfully
Hmm.
in the iGaming space,
Hmm.
and that's what I did as well. Like, and which I did later again on Facebook, because I learned that if I would create my own email list instead of sending to the affiliate offer directly, back then my ad accounts lasted much longer. And then I started basically from then on just focus my media buying into my own email lists, basically.
Nice.
And yeah, that's what I did. And that's also where I had my breakthrough, because I was able to build an email list. Obviously, the
Hmm.
bigger the email lists, the more reach you have. When you send out a newsletter, yeah, you can build trust, and you can promote not only one time an offer, you can promote it multiple times. You can promote multiple products, collect multiple commissions, and yeah, that's basically, and that's so crazy because it's 10 years in between, but it's,
Hmm.
it's the exact same funnel that I used to sell my music promotion services.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
That-
I'm a one-trick pony. Everything, the only things that work for me is running ads, build my email list, and promote affiliate stuff. So
Well, it's interesting because that's actually a very, very solid strategy that I think a lot of affiliates lose sight of, is the email could be very powerful.
yeah,
And we actually had it's not Nate Kennedy. Yeah, it's Nate Kennedy.
yeah,
Nate
he's a
Kennedy.
newsletter guy as well.
Um, yeah, and yeah, newsletters, and he does incredibly well on
Yeah,
that route. So I think one of the things that I always love about this is there's so many different ways. You even mentioned earlier when you were talking about being in Thailand, in that hub. What you see is so many different ways to
yeah.
succeed. There's so many different ways. It's about your path and your journey. So I'm kind of curious. It's interesting because that's where you first learned. It made sense to you during that style, and as you come back there, it's like, it just continues to make sense. So I actually love that. It's just that it's very full circle. And actually, I think email gets underrated sometimes. Another
Yeah,
that it allows you to lower your cost on your spend, because you could get, it's easier to get somebody on email for free, right? Like, it's way easier to get that. And they might not buy, obviously there's differences in some of the costs, but in terms of the revenue they produce, but it's like, hey, you have that asset forever,
yeah,
versus an ad. When you're running Facebook ads to sell something directly, you lose that customer. You have to try again. And just like you said, it's starting over every single day. And for some people, that's one of the things they love about doing media buying. It sounds like for you, you're like, I don't like this part. I want to have something that feels like I could build and have a real asset kind of
yeah.
thing.
I mean, you cannot scale from 0 to 100K a day on email in the same time as you could
Yeah.
with proper media buying setups, obviously, but it's a different game. And
Hmm.
I tried so many. I tried it all, and I also had some success with that traditional funnel, I would say, as well on YouTube. Also had
Hmm.
100K a day, not a day, sorry, month,
Hmm.
which was amazing. But
Yeah.
but as soon as the campaign dies, your revenue is gone. Like, and all the customers that you generated in that month, you basically can't promote to them again.
Hmm.
So it's a different game, and I think a lot of it might be a bit controversial what I'm saying, but even
Oh, say it. Lead always with that. Yeah.
it's funny. Everyone who ever run ads, for example, let's say you have a Facebook ad, one ad set, 5 ads in there. For some reason, which is totally out of your control, one ad will do better than the others.
Even
It's
if it's like the same one. Yeah.
even if it's 5 times the same.
Hmm.
And it's the same with business as well. You and I, we could do the exact same campaign, exact same ad set, exact same ads. For some reason, we will get different results. It's like, it's weird. It's super
Hmm.
weird. And there's nothing you can do. The only solution to that is test more stuff until something sticks. But
Hmm.
that's not something that matches every personality. Some people don't want to test 1,000 ads a month, for example. And maybe something else works much better. Like, there are people that are amazing in organic traffic, in building up Instagram pages for weight loss, and other people they don't have the patience like me. I cannot do organic stuff. Like I don't want to wait until Google ranks my website. I want to buy an
Yeah.
ad, I want to send an email, and that's it. So
Yeah.
and within a
Yeah. It's
week,
like,
and I know if it has legs or not. But with SEO, for example, or social media, it takes much longer. But on the
yeah.
other side, you lose a lot of money figuring it out. So, and that might not be the best thing for anyone as well. So, I
Yeah.
would really,
Yeah. It's kind of what resource you're more willing to give, time or money, right? That's how I think that's oftentimes a challenge of the entrepreneur. I could always give more time for less money, or do I want to give more money for less time for
yeah,
whatever I'm doing? It's always that trade-off. Well, let's kind of go back a little bit. So you kind of found the strategy, you start feeling a little bit settled in of going from ebook to email to affiliate offers. So at what point in time would you say like where Spark came in? Like what was it at a point that you kind of found yourself saying, I know some things, but I'm missing something. I
yeah.
need another tool. I need more information. Walk me through kind of like where you were at that point in time.
It's pretty recent that I joined Spark, even though I had some success. But I feel like affiliate marketing works the best when you focus on the basics. When you have the basics right, like I'm a big guy on 80-20 principles. Like
Mm-hmm.
if, for example, the offer you're promoting, the messaging you have, that's the 20% that will give you 80% of the results. Like it it's weird. I had emails that had typos, but people still like the offer and it converted. And I like typos didn't matter. Like people try to focus too much on all the stuff that doesn't move the needle instead of just focusing on the small parts that make it. And I
Yeah.
was wanting to know if I'm working on the right stuff, basically,
Mm.
because
Yeah.
it's
So you
very
kind of felt
easy.
this moment, you're like, hey, is
It's
this
it's
really
very
the
easy
path?
to overcomplicate it. It's very easy to
Mm-hmm.
overcomplicate the process of generating traffic, basically. And yeah, I also
I
wanted
know.
to
I love
learn
that you said
more.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I also wanted to learn more about YouTube, and especially now with AI. Like, there's a lot of stuff that is like you see more AI ads, AI videos, AI images, and I didn't want to buy a $5,000 coaching course. To be honest, I wanted to learn stuff still
Mm-hmm.
from the pros. And when I saw that Spark has basically this membership model, and the first month was even 50% off, it was like a no-brainer. Like spending $23, I think it was,
Yeah.
for a full 4 weeks of learning from people who, like, I mean, you're not a coach uh, sharing something that may have worked 2 years ago. It's like it's
Mm.
from ClickBank itself, and they have what I like a lot about affiliate marketing and why I like Spark is our we are aligned. Like if we don't if I buy a course from a coach, it doesn't matter to them if I succeed or not because they have no additional upside.
Mm-hmm.
But you as ClickBank, you have all the reasons to make your students successful because the more success they have with promoting your offers, the more you make as well. And so that alignment I liked a lot. So then, yeah, it was a no-brainer basically.
Well, I was going to talk and I coughed instead. But no, I actually, like you said, that is one of those. I think that's a really, really key thing. As I literally forgot what we were just talking about. Oh, yeah. In terms of education, this is something I've been really hitting and thinking about for a while. But you're very right. Sometimes the guru model it runs into an issue where it doesn't actually. You're not that incentivized for your students to succeed at a certain point. In fact, like you kind of run out of wanting successful students because they might have more
Yeah,
management, they may have more of this, and it hinders your ability to go broad scale because that means you have to be really leading the pack on the strategies and the tactics that are going on for media buying. And now I have to be still an elite media buying affiliate, but I also run an education business. Those things are challenging
yeah,
to serve each other. And especially when in reality, if I have an education business, most of the time I don't make any additional dollars, direct dollars off my student success. I need some for testimonials. I need to create some heroes and some coaches to create
Obviously.
proof. But after that, I'm kind of like, do I need to keep doing this?
Yeah.
And so there's a bit of I think attrition that could happen, or where you just decide to charge more and create more tiers and more and more and more and more. But that means it's a dilution every single time. Versus like what you're saying is like ClickBank succeeds when our clients succeed. So when you
Yeah.
have a product that is completely predicated on we want you to succeed because that's how we profit, it totally flips the education, the content game. So for this
Totally.
$23 that you got in here, I don't
Yeah.
mean this to sound like a pitch, but I do think it's really interesting.
It is.
And I think the other thing you said that I think is really, really key is I think one of the most important things in affiliate marketing is just knowing the basics.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And we had, I'll use two metaphors here. I'm going to connect this first with a fighting metaphor. Because there's a big UFC fight tomorrow, so my brain's like in
Nice.
like MMA mode.
Cool.
But Ilya Taporia is the lightweight champion of the world right now, and if you watch him fight, he's incredibly talented. He's really, really strong, really, really impressive. But his actual skills are basic skills.
Yeah.
It's a jab, it's a cross, it's basic combos. It's the simple stuff that you learn early on, but it's so effective and it's so focused on it, executed so well. It doesn't need to be some spinning back kick or a jumping flying knee or something that looks really exciting that we want to, have $300,000 a month coming in our FBA drop shipping and be in the Lamborghini. That looks cool, but that doesn't actually always mean the success that you're looking for. And it's the basics, it's the components, it's your jab, it's your hook, it's a double leg, right? Or a single leg. It's the simple things that really make the difference. And to even go that further, how that exists in the affiliate world, we had Lee Johnson on an episode not too long ago when he was here for the Diamond Summit. And he mentioned before, he's like, hey, I used to find myself chasing what everyone else was doing. It never worked. And what I found in business is anytime things aren't going the way I want them to, I need to go back to what I know, go back to me, my processes, and essentially the basics. So with that, like the basics do matter. And if you understand the basics and you execute on the basics at the highest of levels, you will succeed. And then you could sprinkle in some more advances, more, but it's all about those basics. So I love you said it. So let's go back to, you find yourself saying, hey, let me get back to what else do I know? I want to get some more YouTube stuff. You get in there. When you actually got into Spark, because I have to admit, like, I'm not going to lie. And this is me being contrarian to my own company, so I don't know what that means. So Dylan, edit this part. Make Jonathan say it. No, just kidding. But like, to me, I would say if I had a $23 course, my expectations of it having any value, I might get like a sentence. Oh, here's one new idea. I would think my expectations would have been just bottomed out of how good it would really be. That being said, what was it like after you spent the $23? Curious what your thoughts were of what you expected you were going to get versus what you actually received out of it.
So maybe leading with the basics first. I think in another fighting analogy, I think it was Bruce Lee maybe who said, "I don't fear the enemy who practiced at 10,000 kicks once. I fear the one who what is it? Trained one kick 10,000 times, whatever, something like that." And
I think I know what you're talking about.
And
mastery.
And I wish I had done that before, to be honest, to join Spark instead of high ticket programs, because inside Spark, you have all the basics that you would ever need, basically. And I think it makes more sense to join a cheaper program, but learn the basics. The first time you maybe hear about Facebook ads, chances are you may not really understand all the puzzle pieces together, how to create a page, how to connect a pixel. Like there's a lot of stuff to learn, and it's better to do it for $23 or $40 a month instead of shelling out 2, 3, 4, 5K for a huge coaching, because they will have the same content anyways in their courses. The process is always the same. They're not teaching it differently, basically, because the process of creating an ad, that's just one way to do it. So
no, I see what you're saying. Just to confirm, because what you're saying isn't that it's not that in those high ticket courses there aren't content that you can't get other places, but the base level of it, you always have to start at the same base. So It's like, see what you could learn and how successful you could be with the basics, And
Yeah,
it'll almost make those high ticket courses become more value if you choose to do them when you select the right ones, because you're already kind of, you have a baseline. I know this, I only need
exactly.
this, right?
And
Yeah.
that the next logical step is then to get a coach who can be
Hmm.
higher ticket. Like I have nothing against the high ticket coaching
Hmm.
industry, but it's not the first step I would take if I know nothing. Basically, I would just
Hmm.
try to learn the basics, how it works, and once like crawl before your ball. Once you
Crawl before you ball. Love that.
once you made your first handful of sales and you understand how your Facebook works or your Pinterest, if that's the route you want to go, then find a coach to accelerate the process. But the
Hmm.
basics, I mean, they are there. So, and what I find interesting, and the Spark course keeps updating. I just this week got a newsletter that there are 2 new courses added. One is for Newsbreak, which is a new traffic source, which is all which is rising. A lot of people finding a lot of success there. And including my subscription now, I have access to a Newsbreak course. Like I don't have to buy another guru
Hmm.
course or a high ticket course on learning how to do Newsbreak. So so that I find that very, very cool. And
Yeah, and it's live. So think about that. Just like you said, hey, it makes a lot of sense to go to the source.
yeah,
We did that same thing, went to the source, and Newsbreak is a partner of ours, created how to succeed on their
perfect.
platform. Like you said, it's just built in. And so it's you could be a shiny toy object syndrome, or you could focus on one at a time, but having those base level and really high quality content. So like when you got in there, what was the first course that like just sparked for
YouTube
you? You're like,
ads.
holy cow,
YouTube
it's
ads.
YouTube ads.
Yeah, YouTube
And
ads with Ernesto,
mhm,
who is I think a platinum or diamond affiliate as well with
mhm.
you.
Yep.
You also had
Diamond,
him
I
on the
believe. Yep.
show.
Yep.
There's also a very interesting interview with him. So somewhere here,
Mhm.
probably you can link to that as well.
Yeah. Yes. This will be a show note thing. We'll put the Ernesto interview in for sure.
What I liked about him a lot was his extreme humbleness. Like especially like in the crowded space of how to make money online, there are a lot of loud people.
Hmm.
And the next guru who drives with his Lambo through Dubai, like there's 500 of them already. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing even to stand out anymore.
Hmm.
So and there's a lot of loud people trying to sell the dream. And that's also why I like your podcast as well, the affiliate podcast, because you guys are calm. It's not like, hey, sign up now, make money and whatever. It's like it's more conservative, if you want to say that. And Ernesto was even one level higher. He was extremely kind.
Hmm.
And I found it interesting that you don't have to be loud, you don't have to be overly aggressive, and still make it to diamond affiliate on
Hmm.
ClickBank. And for those who don't know, that's at least 5 million a year.
Yep. 5 million.
With,
Yep.
I mean, if you don't have to be loud for that, sign me up. So I
Yeah.
I wanted to learn how to do YouTube with his course, and that was the very first one that I signed up for, or was the first one that I watched. And I even after having so much experience, there was a huge aha moment in creating YouTube ads, which this alone would have, if I had paid $1,000 for your course, I would have been happy with this single thing already.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? What was the aha moment, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what do you remember kind of that, like,
Yeah.
where it felt like, "Oh, this is worth it and so much more."
Yeah. So my biggest problem was creating video ads, basically.
Mm.
I'm not an editor, I'm not a video producer. And to be honest, I don't want to be one. I don't want to
Hmm.
learn it. I don't want
Yeah.
to learn Adobe, Photoshop, whatever video
Hmm.
creation software. That's not me. I don't want to do it. That's it. So AI obviously helps a lot with that, but still you have to come up with angles, scripts, and whatever. And he has a pretty cool process where he uses, for example, email swipes from the offer vendor affiliate
Hmm.
pages and then he has some ChatGPT prompts for that. He basically takes them and creates video scripts out of for example, email
The
swipes
swipes.
from a vendor. I found that
Yeah.
so cool. I already adapted it for me a little bit more, using the Live Force 8 and other copywriting techniques.
Hmm.
But it's now easy. Like, I think after the first day, when that light bulb moment came, I was able to produce 7 videos, like,
From
same
like not
day.
being able to do any, and
Yeah,
then you went to 7. That's
because
awesome.
before that, I still was creating the scripts myself with
Hmm.
the knowledge that I had. Then, back then, 11 Labs already existed, so text to speech. But then still, I only had audio and no video, so I always had to go to my Fiverr guy, hire him to create this video, wait for 3 days until he comes back, maybe have him edit something, wait another day. So it was a very slow process. And now,
Hmm.
thanks to this process that Ernesto shared in the YouTube course, I mean, I'm able to produce a video every 30 minutes, and that's really cool.
Well, and like you said before, earlier, saying like you got to test. It's testing. It's just always testing.
Yeah,
So it's like if it takes you 5 days to get one video, it's going to be hard to test fast. 30
yeah.
minutes, we could do quite a bit. So that's really amazing. So
And you would
what did
have
that
to
do?
pay that VA, like this
Yeah.
producer, every time. And even if you have a good deal, like a volume deal, and
Hmm.
you only pay $30 to $50 per video, but still you need 10 or 20 to find a winner. That's
Hmm.
$500 again,
Yeah.
if not
Yeah.
more,
And then if
without the ad spend, which you have to
yeah.
have on top. So, like, testing gets really expensive really fast.
Hmm. And it's expensive and slow. Those are not things that
Yeah,
most of
no,
us like. We don't want to
no,
spend more money for less time. Those are
yeah,
really things that
yeah.
it's a bad idea.
Yeah, spend
So
more
no, I
and
totally get it.
spend more and wait longer. Sign me up for
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
no one ever said
Oh,
that.
geez. No, yes,
Yeah.
the words of no one for sure. So what did that do? Like once you had this unlocked with Ernesto, how did that change your business?
So far, so I'm 1 month into that right now. I was able
Hmm.
to test more offers more quickly, but now that is just one part of the equation, because now the media buying part has to be figured out as well, and
Mm,
and I'm still in the process of figuring that out. But since I have experience on Facebook, I gave myself like the rest of the month, and if I
hmm.
don't make a significant process on YouTube with that, I will take Ernesto's video producing process and plug it into my Facebook ads.
There you go.
Because there you can still advertise with video as well and split
Yeah.
test much faster as well now. So
You know what I
yeah,
love though is you just said the real key here is what Ernesto really unlocked was a basic of how to scale testing, right? The rest are skills you learn on your own. There's obviously more things. It was like, hey, this process unlocked something for me that now unlocks all these other things. Kind of like you when you talked about that story of the drop shipping way back when, which led you to Kindles, which became successful with the ebooks. It's that domino. You just earned yourself another domino by having that information. And who knows what it'll
absolutely.
cascade into.
It's like always like a little bit skill stacking, I would say.
Hmm.
And like creating image ads on Facebook, it was one skill. Like,
Hmm.
that's easy now because I've done it a lot of times. Video was always a big struggle because I always had to hire it out and wait and hire, and but now I have this new skill, and just because I learned it from a YouTube course doesn't mean that it only works on YouTube. You can also transfer it into other video formats, basically. And I think
Yeah.
that's a very valuable thing to have, like copywriting. Copywriting is not depending on a specific format. Like, it's not only working on Facebook, it also works on everywhere, basically, on Pinterest. If you
Yeah.
have a good story on Pinterest, if you have a good story on Newsbreak or on your advertorials, whatever, it's like,
Yeah. Copy is just the language of influence at the end of the day. It doesn't have to sell anything. It just has to influence you for an
exactly.
action
And
at the
now
end
I
of the
can
day.
deliver it in video as well, so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Yeah.
that skill alone was worth the entire membership already.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
well, I want to go back because we're talking a lot about, just affiliate skills in general. So let me ask you, because now you've been doing this for a long time, you've experienced a lot. Obviously, this whole online marketing world allowed you to travel, experience so much.
Hmm.
You're back home in Germany now,
Yep.
but it's really changed your life. So obviously, a lot of people want what you have in some
Yeah.
capacity, Jonathan. So with that being said, like, what are some skills when you think of like the core skills that make a successful affiliate? What are they for you?
The core skills, that make a good affiliate, I would say, is the very cool combination of being creative enough to come up with your own angles and not just copy what you see on spy tools, for example, and being data uh, driven enough to also look at the data and not just on your creative gut feeling, for example. Because, like today, I think that's one of the biggest problems that affiliates have today is that the spy tools exist.
Mm-hmm.
On the good side is I can log into my spy tool and see what works. Which also means other people can sign in into their accounts and see what I do. So it's
Mm-hmm.
always like this two-sided thing.
Yeah.
But if you just copy what you see people are doing, I think it's hard to find the success that you're looking for. Like, take what you see and make it your own. Basically, I think that's what makes a good affiliate, to just come up with their own ideas and angles to have an edge,
Mm-hmm.
and not just
With an
copy.
understanding, but be driven by numbers to know that, hey, my creative needs to generate a result, right? So,
Yeah,
but no, I say
but
it all the time: innovate, don't replicate. You could
yeah,
spy tools are meant to inspire. They should change
yeah.
them to call them inspire tools. That could be a
Oh,
marketing
that's a
flip
nice
on there.
one. Yeah,
Because that's
inspire
what they
tools.
really are. It's an inspire tool. I want to know what's working. So one, like sometimes knowing what's working helps you go way outside the box. Like I
Yeah,
might see, man, all these ads that are talking about the price of eggs or the price of milk are just crushing right now. What other, like, why? Why is that? And then go look at it, go Google search, see why search terms about milk might be going up. Maybe you see grocery prices have doubled. And you don't need to go do milk, but you're like, there's something in there. What is the other thing? Now I'm going to go do another Google search term, find something else. And because you've been inspired by an idea and you made it
yeah,
your own, and you chose to understand it, you might create an ad that's totally different than all those other ones. And it's just as successful, sometimes even more successful.
I agree.
But you, like you said, you have to have the creativity and the willingness to create for yourself versus, stealing from somebody else. And in reality, you're totally right. You can't get the success because all you're really doing is just trying to occupy the wake of something that was there before.
Yeah,
When a rock drops in the pond and it echoes out, you're not the one dropping the rock. You're just riding along the ripples, and that's never going to be as effective as the person that dropped the rock.
and you don't see the entire picture. And I think that was a
Mm-hmm.
huge game changer for me. Is that we all so what buys a lot of people into this business is the idea of not having clients, not having to deal with anyone, being fully remote on my own. While all of this is true, going out to a conference, joining a mastermind, meeting people, shaking hands like we did in Barcelona, this this accelerates, like building relationships. Or there's every successful affiliate I met so far also has great relationships with their affiliate networks, maybe with the sellers directly, with the traffic source reps. And I think that's a big part of finding success or building success in the affiliate space. Because, for example, what you will not see in the spy tool is maybe the competitor that you're trying to copy, maybe he has a better payout, maybe he gets a cut on the back end, maybe he, I don't know, you don't know. And basically
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to compete with someone who maybe gets 20% more commission. So whatever you do, he will just outbid you anyway. Like you're signing up to a losing game basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
No, it's a really great way to put it. And I couldn't agree with you more. And I actually really love that you brought in that community and your relationship aspect. Because we also see, I could tell you guys, I have not interviewed and I haven't talked to in my life at ClickBank and beyond that, somebody that was really, really successful without network.
yeah,
It just doesn't happen. They always have somebody that helped get them there, a mentor, even the most brilliant people. Maybe not Steve Jobs, I don't know, but I bet it probably is exactly the same, which
yeah.
I think kind of transitions nicely. You've interacted with a lot of affiliates, you've interacted with a lot of networks. Curious in terms of the relationship and that you've had working with ClickBank. So I know obviously that's important to us. Curious how that's been for you. And obviously this is self-serving, but no, it's just interesting, right? Because you said, hey, what's the relationship with the network? So curious of your time, what has it been like working with ClickBank?
Well, when I signed up for Spark and interviewed Michael, obviously we stayed in touch when he was on my podcast, and having an affiliate manager basically was great to get advice on what to promote and what might be the best way for you to go, basically, instead of just guessing it by your own. Like having a little bit of guidance goes a long way, because you could easily promote the wrong offer just because it has all the right numbers, but maybe it's not the season for that offer right now, or the season is
Mhm.
ending. So by the time you figured out the campaign, summer is over. Nobody's going to buy whatever product, for example.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
having someone who can tell you what might be a good idea to launch in September, obviously that's a big game changer.
Hmm. Yeah. So the biggest thing is like, and we kind of go back before the basis of Spark is because at ClickBank, we win when you win. And
Mhm.
that same idea is that relationship has been being able to work with Michael. You have somebody that's invested in helping give you advice with all the stuff that we know.
Yeah.
So you could continue to win because that's what we want. That's what you want. It's
Yeah.
truly the Michael Scott win-win-win.
It
That's what
is.
I was going to
It
say. We
is.
all win.
So
Yes.
and what I like a lot, and I'm not looking for an ROI in this relationship. Like that's
Mhm.
not my main focus. Obviously, we are working together, and ROI will come naturally out of
Mhm.
this. So I have affiliate friends that I introduced to Michael. So now Michael can be their affiliate manager as well, and some of them are
Mhm.
doing six figures and multiple six figures. So that's great in that direction as well. And in turn, I get referred to other affiliates who can help me solve a problem that I have. That's
Mhm.
it doesn't have, like, I think relationships shouldn't be transactional. Like it's like we're not waiting against each other who brought more value today, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not relationships don't work like that, basically.
Yeah. Good relationships shouldn't have a ledger tied to them, right? Like you don't
Exactly.
need to be
Yeah.
constantly asking, have you given me enough for what I've given you, right? We just give because we care
Yeah.
and we know and trust that reciprocation will happen whenever it needs to, but it's not about value. It's just about almost trust in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
for example,
No.
if you go to the conferences, obviously, if when ClickBank has like the rooftop where we also met after the
Mm-hmm.
conference, like
Yep.
the only reason I was there is because Michael told me, "Hey, we're hanging out there. Want to join us?" So, and around that table are other affiliates who I might not have met at the conference. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes this entire industry so attractive to me personally, because I love speaking with people. I love speaking about business, about ideas, about creative stuff. And I would not have been at that table if I didn't had a good time with Michael before, and he would have said, "Why don't you join us?" You know,
Yeah.
and you never know. One day you will meet another guy who you might JV with and
Mm-hmm.
partner with. You might shake hands with a vendor, and you will get access to a CPA deal, or that's and
Agree.
I would say tying into that is, if you're in this for the long term, then you have the better chances to making it really work well, because affiliate marketing is not a short-term thing if you want to do it right. I mean, some people can probably, but I want to be in this in the next 10 years still, or even longer.
I love that. I just that idea is like, don't think about it as um some sort of short-term cash grab. Always think of the long-term perspective. And again, as we go back to another episode we had, somebody, Francisco, very successful affiliate as well.
Hmm.
Again, he gave himself time. One of the biggest
Exactly.
things he needed is forced to give himself time to continue to work. And
Yeah.
then time, if you give yourself time and you work, then timing works in your favor, right? Because sometimes
Yeah.
the biggest leaps don't happen because somebody just magically figured it out. They were doing a lot of work and timing just paired up with them. And then all of a sudden a big jump happens.
And it's
But because all the
mhm.
work, you get to transition and create that sustainably. For sometimes if your timing's too early, you might collapse everything you build. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, you went from driving a Lambo down Dubai in Dubai to 10 years, you're a server at a Chili's,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we've literally seen that happen before.
Yeah.
So it's not without the question that high highs with short-term focuses could become low lows pretty quickly.
And
So
what I'm learning more and more over the years now is that also the relationships that I was able to build in the last years, they can sometimes point me into a direction that I didn't know existed, or introduce me to someone who can solve my problem that I have. For example, Facebook ad accounts.
yeah.
Michael introduced me to someone who solves this problem, which is fantastic. Now I can do that again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
if you wouldn't have a good relationship, like for example, if some random guy would approach me and he just wants to have this quick money the thing, I would never in 1,000 years open up all my relationships to that guy like just like that. I need
Mm-hmm.
trust has to be built before we all open up to each other,
Mm-hmm.
don't we?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. For sure.
and for example, if we trust each other, and I would send you people who just send, I don't know, bad traffic, have high refund rates and chargebacks because they are promoting scammy angles, whatever. This would unfortunately also come back at me somehow because I was the guy who brought him in. So everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to be. If you want to be an affiliate, just decide to do that for at least a few years. Build
Mm-hmm.
relationships, go to conferences, join the mastermind, shake hands, just learn the thing and enjoy the part. And
Yeah.
and I think a lot of it will happen out of that already.
Yeah. Enjoy it. Do it and enjoy it. I love
Yeah.
that, man.
If you
That's a
don't like the
perfect
job,
way.
yeah.
Oh,
If you don't like
yeah.
the job, you won't make it anyway.
Yeah. That's always good. If you hate it,
Yeah.
get out. But you
Yeah.
know what? Enjoy the ride and do the process. Do the work. I love that, man. That's a
There-
great way to finish things off here. I know we said we were going to talk about the podcast stuff, but actually what I want to do is you have a podcast as well.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell people about your podcast, as well as any individuals out here that are thinking, hey, I want to learn from Jonathan. I want to connect with Jonathan, or I'd like him to see if he'd want to test and promote my product. What's
Mhm.
the best way to get a hold of you, as well as shout out to the podcast, which we'll be sure to tag in the show notes so
Yeah.
other people could go
Awesome.
and check it out. Particularly the episode with Michael, because
Yeah.
who doesn't want to listen to Michael talk a little bit more in their life? So
Yeah, that was a good one
maybe
too.
people that are trying to go somewhere when Michael's talking to you. That's about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, Jonathan at affiliatemastermind.com. That's my email. Also, that's my website, affiliatemastermind.com. And yeah, Instagram, obviously. I'm there every day. And happy to chat with everyone who's excited to start or
Beautiful.
continue their journey there.
And what's the podcast? I'm assuming Affiliate Mastermind as well.
It's also Affiliate Mastermind by
Beautiful.
Jonathan, obviously.
There you go. Awesome, Jonathan. Well, hey, dude, thanks so much. Really appreciate the time. It was just such a great thing. And I think so many nuggets in there. Just to try and distill it down, I feel the back to basics, the need for community, and most importantly, I really love the way you finished it. It's like, love this process, love this journey, and just do the work. Go out, do the work, guys, by reviewing, subscribing, making sure that you do all the things so Dylan could keep upgrading our studio. Soon enough, we're going to have gold behind us. It'll be really cool. We're getting a statue of Thomas, so you could always feel him made requisitions. It's really awesome. It's really just a failed Seth Rogen wax structure, but it works. It works really well.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Also, email us at affiliated@clickbank.com with any questions. If you didn't get the parts, you want to say something else, whatever it is, we always like to read those and we really appreciate them.
Yeah.
Until next time, as Thomas would say, happy scaling. Jonathan, you have a great time. We really appreciate you. You're great. And be safe out there, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.